Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel.
A quick follow-up. This is now the chicken compost that they pushed down. That was a mixture of bedding with poop and things, and there's actually some pumpkin seeds in here. I'm just going to leave them, and hay that they had eaten the seeds off of and pooped on and all the stuff. And this is how far it broke down. It's crazy. I'm fixing to place it on a couple of beds that I just made. I'm going to take this off and see how the chickens react. I just took the ring off the compost that was up here and now is down here, and we're going to dress a couple of my beds with it. There's some Seminole pumpkin seeds, I think, in here. Now Bubbles is going to town looking for bugs, and so is everybody else. Will be here shortly. So I've got this one filled, and I'm gonna top a bed with it just for mulch. We have like another month or two before anything's planted in that bed, maybe even 3 months, so it'll give it a little time to kind of sit. I know I've said before, but chickens love jobs. She was dust bathing, and so she got tempted by this, so she shook the dust off of her and she quit her dust bathing and is ready to look for stuff in here. Hopefully they'll find some goodies in there. These are the beds that I'm going to top off. Most of them I already have. I used leaves, I used hay that had been in the chicken run for a little while, because you have to keep the soil covered. I have done a little more digging on these two beds and thrown stuff over, and these are not level yet. These beds are gonna be leveled and put into place as soon as I can get to it. I'm still not done cardboard and pathways, and actually I'm digging. The ground beds I've basically dug out, and it's not fully level yet because I'm not finished. But the idea is, because this is on a slope, is it will kind of trap the water, and I will have this mulched with tree mulch, the pathways, and the water will just kind of be absorbed by the tree mulch. And then as the year goes by and the tree mulch breaks down, the following year I can kind of dig some of that up, or all of it up, and mount it back on the bed again. And then I will remulch the paths. And I'm not opposed to doing hay. Like I told y'all before, I have an organic hay guy that I really like, but even that, I want the chickens to mess around with it first to get rid of all the seeds and to kind of inoculate it with their goodness. And oh, I got a greenhouse. So yeah, I haven't made a video in a while. Still, we're not done with the chicken coop, as you see, or the little lean-to shed, because I need my husband's help for that. And I'm going to plant a rose on the old rusty bed frame that I got in the woods I found on the property. So yeah, I found this greenhouse. I'm not done. Like, I have to put rocks inside. It's probably what I'm going to do, is pea gravel. I'm hoping it'll hold the heat. I don't have tables yet. I got makeshift stuff going on in there. But, and I need to crack the doorhouse, because there's a lot of, I'm kind of learning. I've never had a real greenhouse before. And this is not really super fancy, but I'm very excited about it. And I got this literally on Temu. And it was just like, I got it for like $320, $328, something like that. Anyway, I'll show it to you really quick. My husband was skeptical, and it took us, it said that it would take 3 hours to put together. It took us 9 hours. So don't believe that. And some of it's written, and I don't know if it's Mandarin or Cantonese, but you know, they didn't have a really great interpreter, but we figured it out. And it's pretty stable. And yeah, I've got makeshift stuff going in here. Eventually I'll get some tables made and get gravel. Ideally I would have done the floor before, but I really was anxious to get seeds going, and I'm going to start some more seeds today, later on. But anyway, just a little update of what's going on around here. Still have lots of work to do. Got to finish, like I said, mulching pathways. I've mulched a lot, but have not finished. And like I said, these are going to be leveled, and I'm going to have some trellises on this one and more trellises that way. These beds, there was a really low spot here on the slope, and the seriousness of the slope doesn't really start until as you kind of get going down there, but it is still a slope. And this I did not get built up enough. nor my 2 front beds. But there's only so much, you know, digging I can do. I just kind of rest in knowing that over time it's gonna improve. Every year it'll get a little better, and as the pathways break down, I can take it and flip it onto the beds for the next year. And that is kind of the plan here. I have a lot of seedlings going in here. Looking really good. I'll probably get into some beds soon. Just need to make sure I have them covered. If the calendula will probably be okay, maybe without the frost. Chamomile. I got a lot of stuff going there I'm excited about. Excuse my shadow. We have helicopters all the time lately. I don't know what's up with that. Like, I see more helicopters than I ever have. It's kind of weird. But anyway, I moved my asparagus. That's another thing. I had asparagus in these 2 front beds, and I have moved them all to here. And I planted the asparagus. My shadow, y'all. I don't have camera stuff. I just got my phone, and I'm probably not going to get all the stuff. Maybe I will. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so I dug up the asparagus, and that was hard. And I planted that from seed as soon as we moved in. So that was like 18, 19 months ago. And so ideally you don't move asparagus, but I just decided I would rather plant these as a welcoming kind of something, you know, some flowers, probably some echinacea and rutabaga and some other really pretty things. And then I have my ladybunk's rose here. And I'm going to put another arbor this year here, and just with the cattle panel. And I'm going to add another cattle panel in there. But I moved the asparagus over here, and it pretty much took up the whole thing. I'm really hoping that it takes. I dug it in some and added a whole bunch of compost from my compost that I made. And even some bought tree frog compost. So I'm hoping that it likes it there and really takes off this year, and then we have asparagus for 20 years or more. I'm going to expand this perennial bed a little this year. And the fig bed, I'm kind of using those logs kind of to show my perimeters of what I want here. I have a huge Mexican tarragon. Well, it's not huge yet. I'm hoping it's going to be huge this year. And I'll probably do some perennials around the fig. I've trimmed it, cut it back. I'm about to start some potatoes, I think, in there. But anyway, I've done a lot of mulching of the pathways, but I'm not done. And see this? I haven't covered this. I need to cover this. It's like, I think because I added to it later, so this long bed. But it's all a work in progress. There used to be a big burn pile here, and I need to make a video about it because I have before pictures, and you'll be amazed at what this place looked like before. And right now it's not all pretty, but I promise come summer and spring it will be. But there was a big burn pile here, and I had to sift through trash, basically. Broken glass and metals. And I know that's not ideal. I mean, I have not had the soil tested, and I know I probably need to. But I do have raised beds kind of in the areas where they were, and that's why I'm mounding these beds here in the back up. That's not the only reason I'm mounting them, because it was kind of in this area. But I did like a big pile of leaves and logs and things like that in a hugelkultur style to kind of break down and build up soil. So I'm probably this year, I think, going to plant sunflowers, which I know are good for like pulling out bad things in the soil. And these 2 beds, the burn pile didn't really go back to that bed back there, but these 2 beds, I'm going to probably plant things that I feel like will be safe to eat just in case. I have also, there's some ashes, there's some, you know, old coal and things like that, which I know are good. But anyway, it's a work in progress, and this is actually going to be a hugel mound as well too. I had two ditches kind of that I built, swells to kind of hold the water, and I decided I think I wanted to make them into a hugel mound. That way, whenever I have everything in bloom over here behind the pond, and trying to get my shadow out of the way. One day I'll figure this stuff out. Whenever I get the hugel mound, you know, I'm going to start piling up. As the summer goes by, I'm going to be cutting back canna lilies, all that stuff, and just piling it up here. And eventually, hopefully, have a big mound here that I will plant perennials probably, and maybe some squash coming down. And then I'll have the chase tree behind, and I've got some swamp. Why do I always forget what it's called? And some loquat there. And the canna lilies hopefully will kind of spread a little going down that way. And I think I'm going to do more perennials kind of going down these beds. Anyway, the plan kind of ebbs and flows and kind of changes. You know, some people say you're supposed to have it all designed perfectly, and in some ways you are, especially with the things that really are important, and like your systems, and like the mounds like this. I should have mounted those up better and dug better swells and, you know, mounds so that it would really absorb, just so that there's not sitting with wet feet. However, that last year I grew a lot of celery and greens in that front bed, and they did just fine. And I have mounded it up some, but as you know, soil breaks down, and it's improving, and that is a good thing. Okay, I've rattled on more than I meant to, but there's a little update, kind of what's going on around here.